Okay, so I don't know if this can be seen as well on the video, but I often think about, a flat Earth, and at first I was thinking, well, obviously the clouds look like they're going down, you know, curving. And you follow this here, and it's doing this. I mean, it's much clearer on this side actually. Look, I mean, it looks like they're going down. And then I started to think, well, a flat earther will just say, because I don't know what flat earthers think about the dome idea, but if anything, this sort of seems to indicate. I'm speaking in terms of people living in ancient times who didn't know any better. And it does look like it's kind of going down to the edge. And I remember doing this thought experiment maybe about 5 or 6 years ago for the first time ever, and how incredibly small it makes the world feel. I mean, I almost, when I look up there, and it's not that far away, and it doesn't look that far away, and people used to think God was up there in the clouds. You're just above the clouds, where we would never ever be able to get. And the birds couldn't fly quite up that high. And I just think it's kind of interesting to imagine yourself living 3,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, whenever, and imagine, just looking with your own eyes, and that's what it seems like. Those clouds just really give that impression, And I wonder why they're doing that, because it's there's a column of clouds actually, and they all seem to be going in that direction. Over towards, there's a mountain over there. So I imagine God lives in that mountain. You see the way the clouds are kind of touching it? Just over there. It doesn't actually, it looks clearer to my eyes than it looks in the camera. But those mountains are touching the clouds. So I imagine God in the Old Testament, the ancient Hebrews, they got their religion from the Babylonians, whatever, or at least borrowed elements, as far as we can tell. We don't know where it came from before that. Although I don't know. I haven't read up enough to know. And so what you basically get is this idea, that if you go up into the mountains, you can go up into the sky. You can get up into the heavens and meet God. And that's what Moses did. And then, of course, they built a tower, and of course that was bad, wasn't it, to try and build a tower up into the sky. But I think there's the same principle there about just going up into the mountain. But of course God makes mountains, doesn't he? So that's very interesting. And then, of course, over time, these stories get seen for what they are, and they become allegorical, but there's still truth in them, and all that kind of stuff.